You're on your own internet.
I am the internet.
I think next time for conflict resolution, we should talk to each other on camera. Because I feel very forgiving when I look at you this way. When I look at you this way, it's easy to take you for granted. Yes? And when I look at you this way, you're so far. You're close in your mind, but you're farther away. So
it's easier to tell me when I'm farther away.
No, it's easier for me to. You appreciate things differently. You want what you can't have. You know, that one of you I can't really touch. Look at him. He don't give me no shit. This guy. Look at him. Hold on, let me put this light up here so you can see him, because he don't give me no shit. Great rising.
Great rising.
Great rising. Yeah. I don't know. It's like, it's surreal, I guess. Because that's how I first saw you on camera, and now I got you. Feel me? Are you ready? Alright.
Just go on your page.
Am I too far away? Can you hear me? Great rising. Great rising. Great rising. Put that right there where I get the book. Here we go. Okay, hold on. You seem so far away. I know you, in the background looking unhappy to be here. In the background looking sleepy and unhappy to be here. Yeah, we went to bed late. Y'all know we was up doing the fire pit drawing until too late. Alright, we only been live for 3 minutes. That's peace. Alright, here we go. Queen of Four. You're listening to Queen of Four medicine song. Give me a second. I can't keep fighting my titties from coming out this thing. Hold on. This ain't going.
Greetings. Great rising. How we feeling this morning? Monday morning. Start of a new week. Metaphysical Monday.
This is not what I had in mind.
Fantabulous, yeah. Rising this morning was a great rising this morning. Woke up with new energy. Kind of a peace since last night's fire pit, drum, full moon ritual we had last night. I woke up with a peace this morning. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay. Child, these pendulums just is gonna be where they gonna be. Alright. I'm about to do like, move your feet right quick. How come I can't see you that well? I need to be able to see you because that's how I focus good.
Oh, you got the light away from me.
Well, I mean, what you saying?
Yeah, this way.
It's not gonna be in your eye. We did this last night. Greetings. That's not going to be in your eye. Alright. Okay, maybe I do have to turn it this way. You've been busted red-handed. Alright. Okay. So, okay, I was gonna say, so how the comments go so I can see us. Alright, let's go.
These are we can make a comment for all the other comments.
Oh, it's too early to be trying to learn how to work the internet. Okay. Alright. Well, we're about to learn how the block works early.
Andre, how the hell you on here if you just a kid, Andre? Andre, you need healing?
Alright. Sacred Woman, Queen Afua. Copyright 2000. Queen Afua, Helen O. Robinson. Alright. Starting with our affirmation. If you're following along, the affirmation at the very beginning of the book. Right here. Alright. I am a distinctive, beautiful flower and a healing herb with a heart, a mind, breasts, buttocks, and a womb. I come with sacred earth medicine to heal myself. All right, family. We're doing this from the top. First things first. Why are we doing Sacred Woman with the Sacred Man? Balance. After having gone through the gateways 2 times thoroughly and 1 time in a rush, I've identified my gateways, and one of them is Gateway 8, Sacred Relationships. Cultivating the way we communicate. Cultivating the way we're in communion. So that's peace. This is what we're doing. Healing together. So surely we've been together for ages, and our relationship is vintage, as we call it. But we're doing what... Wait a minute. Let me read something to you. Alright, give me 1 second. I think it was in like 360 or 360 is maybe what I'm looking for. Alright, hold on 1 second. I'm going to tell you why. This part is peace right here. The union of 2 becoming 1. Man is not the head of the household, nor is the woman the head of the house. It is the one with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in a particular matter that guides or leads the union to the shores of Mayat balance. In this way, we use the wisdom of the union of 2 becoming 1, representing the one Most High Creator in a wise way. Intimate relationships or divine unions are the arms and legs of the womb, the extensions of a woman's inner peace. In order for a woman's womb to be at peace, she needs to be at peace in all of her intimate relationships. Her relationships with all things that she consumes at a physical or energetic level and that become a part of her. Whether this intimate exchange is breathing air into her body or putting food into her mouth, all of a woman's intimate relationships are rooted in her relationship with herself. So reflect on your unions in your own way and allow each to become your teacher. Empty yourself of resentment and become receptive to the lessons that your intimate relationships bring. Surrender to the wisdom that Surrender to the wisdom that each and every union offers to your spirit so that you will not hold on to pain. All right. Okay, so that's one of the primary reasons, right? Because of our relationships, it's important that we heal our extensions as well. It does no good to heal the core if the extensions remain sick. So it's a collaborative and collective effort to get everything clean, and cohesive at once. So here we are, but the fuck naked. Doing what we feel like people should do in relationships, in all relationships. But rather than doing it privately, doing it publicly. So as much as we can, I'm really comfortable with butt naked. And that's new territory for him. That's new territory for most of our kings. So I'm only asking him to give as much of himself as he can. It's important that we all know on the journey, you only have to move as fast as the slowest part of you. Okay? Because if you're really doing the work, it's gone. If you're really going uphill, if you're really doing some work, there really will be some resistance. But you'll really make it. Alright, so here we go. Here, let me just, so let's go here and see if we can. Alright. So before we get into Gateway, hold on one second. Before we get into Gateway 0, yeah, before we get into Gateway 0, let's start with the preface. Oh, that's dope. Alright. Alright. We're starting at the preface. Alright, give me 1 second, family. Alright, you gonna read some too? Alright, I'll let you go with Judgment Days every day. Alright, so I'm gonna skim through the preface, right? Skimming through the preface. Ring ring 221 Hill, this is Queen Afua, may I help you? The sister on the other end of the phone began to weep. I'm so frightened. My doctor told me that my ovaries are dead. I'm only 29 years old and I feel like I'm going through menopause. What am I to do? She pleaded. Ring ring 221 Hill, this is Queen Afua, may I help you? A sad, quiet voice said, the gynecologist I just saw tells me that I have to have a hysterectomy. I'm only 30 years old with 1 daughter. I was hoping to get married again and have more children. In 1982, I was diagnosed with pelvic inflammatory disease and regenerating fibroid tumors. The tumors didn't cause me any major problems for 6 or 7 years, but now they've grown. What can I do? Do you think you might be able to help me in a natural way? I don't want to lose my womb. Ring ring 221 Hill, this is Queen Afua, may I help you? There was a deep sigh from the caller. Hello, Queen. I guess I'm finally ready to try the natural way. Nothing else has worked. I'm getting heavy bleeding with only about 10 days between my periods. In between, I'm in constant PMS and a screaming lunatic with my family and co-workers. I just can't go on this way. As the founder and director of the Heal Thyself Center, a holistic health consultant, colon therapist, polarity practitioner, and lay midwife, I have experienced a natural living lifestyle for more than 25 years, and I have guided thousands along the path of purification for more than 20 years. But nothing in my experience as a minister of purification and a Nubian Kemetic priestess of the temple Nebetet, initiated through the shrine of Ptah, could have prepared me for the epidemic of womb disasters that began to appear at the Heal Thyself Center. The issue of African American women's health has always been one of my primary concerns. Now, peace and power if you listen to this. Right now we're talking about the detriment of women, the pain of women. As peace, because she said, in between, I'm in constant PMS and a screaming lunatic with my family and my co-workers. If it's hard to imagine how the state of our wombs reflect the state of the world, then you can start with just your home or your job or your cubicle. When you aren't well or when you aren't happy, how many things around you are? How many things have room or permission to also be happy? They don't. They don't. They don't. So, the issue of African American women's health has always been one of my primary concerns. I know how chilling the statistics are. There are more than 550,000 hysterectomies performed each year in the United States. Yet, as Dr. Michael E. Toth, creator of the Alternative to Hysterectomy website, comments, in the vast majority of these cases, the indications for surgery are benign. non-life-threatening conditions. Only 10% of hysterectomies are performed for cancer. Due to the widespread practice, the National Black Women's Health Project's Public Education and Policy Program has highlighted the following issue among its top priorities for African American women's health. I think it's like, I don't know how many illnesses, but Black women, encourage your family to walk with you, if nothing else, for 10 minutes a day. Walking for 10 minutes a day can save your life. It can reduce your potential for several illnesses and diseases by 50%. Just walk. 10 minutes a day to start, but you gotta start somewhere. If you don't do shit but start parking at the back of the parking lot. Like wherever you go to the store, don't even ride and cruise the front. Just go park at the back where there is no one. Alright? And people like, yeah, I want my car around the other cars, so nobody busting my shit. Ain't nobody busting in your raggedy ass vehicle. And if you put that bitch at the far back, don't nobody want to bust in the bitch anyway because it's stand alone and it can't hide. So stop coming up with excuses and explanations and start finding a way. Download an app. Download an app. Download an app to count your steps. And before you set a goal, just watch it for a day to see, or a day or 3, to see what your average is. And then double your average and go from there. But they got free apps, fitness apps, step trackers, you know. Alright, fam. Do what you can to do your part. Let's keep pushing. Yeah, only 10% of hysterectomies are performed for cancer. I'm meeting more and more women who have had mastectomies also for a chance of cancer. And it's painful because we now know that if you live the same life, if you eat the same foods and you're in the same environment, then there is no save, you know, that doesn't eliminate your chance or decrease it. It doesn't decrease it either. Let's be real. To have a double mastectomy might decrease your chance of having cancer in the breast, but not cancer in the chest or cancer in the brain or cancer anywhere else for that matter. And the same foods and medicines and the same environmental influences or chemicals, all of these things grow cancer, feed cancer. Due to the widespread practice, reproductive health and rights issues such as high rates of breast and cervical cancer and STDs and excessive hysterectomies. Those are all top priorities for African American women's health. Reproductive health and high rates of breast cancer, cervical cancer, STDs, and excessive hysterectomies. Their efforts are critical when we consider the fact that by age 60, more than 1/3 of the women in the U.S. have had a hysterectomy. An article on indications for hysterectomy found that African American women and women with male gynecologists are more likely to undergo hysterectomies. Research has also shown that African American women are more likely than white women to have a hysterectomy, are hospitalized longer, and are at a higher risk for complications and death. Based on 1986 to 1991 hospital data from the state of Maryland, researchers found that African American women are 25% more likely to have a hysterectomy than are white women the same age. The study also indicated that African American women undergoing the same procedure are more likely to experience complications, remain hospitalized longer, and have a higher risk of death than white women. All right, fam. Judgment Day is every day. Yeah, we're going through this together to strengthen our relationship and to strengthen our bodies. And since we both honor my womb as the core of creation, we want to do all we can to be attuned and in tune with her. All right, so you're going to read just Judgment Day?
Yes. Judgment Day is every day, as our ancestors have told us. Many of the health books on the market today convey a sense that we need only to treat health as a necessity, one that we can buy at a department store, just as we buy a pair of earrings. My bad, earrings. Well, it's simply not true. We get confused by our consumerist way of thinking, which says that if only we have this car, or that brand name clothing, or the stereo system, or that house, all things outside of the self, and everything will be fine. But you can't buy good health, no matter how much money you have, what kind of possessions you have, how many degrees you've earned, what job title you hold, or what neighborhood you live in. You have to plan and cultivate good health. You have to commit to good health. You have to live good life. You have to live good health because it comes from the inside out. It comes from what you bring to your life. Positive, empowering thoughts, prayers and affirmations, uplifting company, and high quality, life-giving foods. To have excellent health, you must invest time and energy into the transformation of your sacred body temple. And once you acquire excellent health, you must retain it vigilantly. That's the true divine challenge, one that you can and must meet.
Alright. Okay, this next part is a good one. The state of your womb reflects the state of your life. That's important because brothers, the women that you have in your life, listen, it's crazy because mind, body, and spirit, I told you. Women know that if we start to hang out with other women, our menstrual cycles will align, okay? So my cycle can be coming on the 3rd of the month, every month for a year and a half. And then when I start a new job and I'm in this cubicle with these same sisters every day, within a month or 3, all of us are having our cycle on the same date or the same range. All of us feel the shift. It didn't pick any one person's date. It kind of found a middle date on all of us. And I've always thought that's amazing about nature. It's amazing. It's amazing how men really do come on to you more when you're really not feeling them because of PMS. But anyway, when you consider that everything has an effect on us, when you consider that everything has an effect on us, mind, body, and spirit, it's easy to understand, brothers, how the state of the wombs in your life reflect the state of your life also. All right. So if a woman is bleeding for 10 and 15 days at a time, then I know that her life, I know it's more than her womb is bleeding. Okay. And it's the same way, brother, if you are in relationship with women whose wombs are unhealthy, then your life cannot be healthy. All right. The women around you are your healers and builders. So if they are experiencing PMS, if they're experiencing pain and cramp and rape and molestation and abuse and these things, ultimately, so are you. All right? So are you. So let me go on. I guess I'll leave this here. The state of your womb reflects the state of your life. The womb is the gateway of all. As a matter of fact, let's do it. Let's just run it right quick. Let's just see. Let's just see. Let's try to make this simple. All right. The state of the womb reflects the state of your life. So let's say I am a woman who has a period that lasts about, let's say, I don't want to make it ridiculous. Let's say if the period lasts 10 days, okay? So first it just come on in its spot for three days, right? Then it's heavy for 5 days. 5 days is heavy flow, and then the last 2 days is light again, and you're back to spotting with an occasional clot, okay? So that's 10 days, right? Let's say you also experience cramping over the 10 days, immobilizing cramping. They kind of shut you down and make you where you just have to shut the fuck up. That's how it used to be for me. I'd be on the phone with a customer at a job, and I'd be trying to get through the cramps because they feel like contractions. So I'd be trying to get through it, and at some point I just have to be like, okay, and sir, just nothing. All right, immobilizing cramping, that pain. All right, let's say PMS or okay, hot flashes, an attitude or moody, let's say moody. All right, your appetite changes. All right, so now you hangry, okay? Because yeah, when my cycle would come on, my appetite would go away. I would have cravings for unhealthy shit, but my appetite for food would go away. And so there was no trigger for me to eat. And so by the time I would finally eat, it would be because I'm feeling like lightheaded or hunger pains. But by this time, I'm irritable and, like I said, for lack of a better word, hungry and just mad as fuck because you haven't eaten. All right. Here we go. So now you're bleeding for 10 days at a time, right? You're cramping, having hot flashes, headaches, you're moody, you're hangry, your appetite is changing, you're bloated, your breasts hurt, right? All of these things are what you're going through, and you're going through these things for 10 days, right? And you're in a relationship. You think he's unaffected by it. You're in a relationship. You're in communion with a man. You don't think he's affected by, you don't think the state of your womb is affecting his life. If for 10 days you're bleeding heavy, you're cramping until it's immobilizing, you're experiencing hot flashes, you're moody, your appetite changes, and you're hangry. It does. It does. And brothers, and this is average. This is what's going on for most sisters. And why I can say it's average is because we see this as the norm. We think that a 7 to 10 day period with excessive cramping and hot flashes and bloating, we believe that all of that is normal. So brothers, I know that your queens are experiencing this. And if not your queens, if it's your girlfriends or the sisters that you just using right now, not using, the ones you just riding the wave with right now, like, it doesn't matter. All of them, right? The state of their wombs collectively represent also the state of your life. Like I said, if you got a woman who you actually live with and you're going through all of these things, what are those 10 days like? Are they warm? Are they gentle? Are they loving? Are they peaceful? Are they relaxing? Are they conducive at all to a healthy relationship? Or are they painful? Are they dark? Are they treacherous? Look, you're putting more on you than you can bear. You are. So all of that to explain again how it may not seem like the state of the womb can reflect the state of the house or the frequency in a relationship, but it absolutely can. Physically, it affects one way, but also, we know, mind, body, and spirit. All right, the trifecta. All right, the state of your womb reflects the state of your life. The womb is the gateway of all human life. When the womb is honored and respected, she becomes a channel of power, creativity, and beauty, and joy reigns on earth. When her voice goes unheard, unanswered, denied, the womb becomes a vessel of disease. The collective state, hold on. Do men have charity sex?
Yes.
Men do have charity sex. Now you've heard it, right? You're raw and uncut. Men have charity sex. I know some sisters like, what? Okay, bitch, you can be brand new if you want to. And that's peace too. Charity sex. Like I said, because of the state or condition we're in, a lot of us have not learned how to, a lot of women have not learned how to communicate without using pussy to say something. We don't know how to say thank you without using pussy. We don't know how to say I need help without using pussy. We don't know how to say I love you without using pussy. We don't know how to say I need you without using pussy. And because black men love pussy, he be like, run it. Listen. Can't have thank you sex and grocery sex and charity sex. We can't do that no more.
What was grocery sex?
When you have sex with groceries. It was grocery sex. When you have sex with groceries, well, you're not a prostitute because you didn't tell him to come through and have sex with you and leave $100 on the nightstand, because the prostitute would do that. You sent him a pussy picture and said your kids need some noodles. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying is, you could just as easily just
had no lunch.
Yeah, you could just as easily say, you know, can you please bring some beans and noodles through, you know. But anyway,
Same thing.
Same thing. Same thing. The reason that came to mind is because when I read listen, when the womb is honored and respected, she becomes a channel of power, creativity, and beauty. When I started to do womb rituals where I would just bathe myself, almost as though I was trying to seduce myself, candles, oils, incense, and like really touch my body like I love my body. Not masturbate my body. Touch my body like I love my body. Touch my body the way I touch the men that I've loved. Where sometimes I just touch you, and in my mind, if I touch you enough, then I can remember every bump, every crevice, every hair follicle. Like the way we touch our children, where we want to, where we adore them so much, we don't want to miss a muscle. You understand what I'm saying? When I started to honor my womb that way, where I would literally sit with my legs spread in front of a mirror and just talk to her, our relationship grew stronger. Casual sex grew harder to have, as did charity sex, grocery sex, and all the others. I was able to hear her. After talking to her for so long, I could hear her talk back. Kind of like a dog or a cat. That motherfucker don't speak the same language as you. But if you continue to speak your language to it, after a while, you definitely have a method of communication. It was the same way. Now I speak to my womb verbally, and she speaks to me intuitively. But either way, she does speak. Now I understand that her voice isn't new. I've always heard her voice. The times that I rolled over and I didn't want to. The times that I didn't know how to say I need help, except for pussy. The times I didn't know how to say I need grocery, except for pussy. Those were the times that she begged and pleaded with me not to. Those are the times that she was disgusted. The times that she didn't even move or open up for him. She closed down, she shut down, she dried out, and the best thing I could do was not honor her with reverence and listening, but have this nigga spit on her. Yeah, we got to do better. All right? Listen, the womb becomes a vessel of disease when her voice goes unheard, unanswered, and denied. And when you go to the doctor, brothers and sisters alike, they will always diagnose your body. They'll always tell you something's wrong with your body, and they love to tell you it's genetic. But something mostly is wrong with your body, and that's what they want you to know. Your body is sick. Your body is fucked up. They're not talking to you about the mind and spirit things that can also manifest in body. All right? I can punch the shit out you to make you cry. Or I could play a sad song to make you cry. I could whisper a memory to make you cry or show you a picture. Oh, that's peace. I haven't sneezed in a while. Thank you. All right. Yeah, so, like I said, so if, just to keep it, like, general, like I'm talking to a fucking 5th grader, if you were crying, I could be like, yeah, you're crying because you're hydrated and shit, and because your grandmother cried. Like, what the fuck? And that would address one thing, the body, but the mind and spirit is to address all the things on the back end of it. All right. So here we go. On the back end of denying the voice of your womb is much disease and discomfort. Disease, dis-ease, and discomfort in your lives and the lives of your relationships and their extensions. The collective state of women's wombs reflect the conditions of the world. When so many women's wombs suffer from tumors, cysts, frigidity, and heavy menstrual bleeding, when so many women experience sexually aggressive acts and unnecessary hysterectomies, then disharmony covers the earth. The condition of women's wombs also directly reflects the condition of women's minds, spirits, and actions. The womb is a storehouse of all our emotions. It collects every feeling, good and bad. Today, we have collectively reached a state of negative womb power. Unnatural living and unhealthy lifestyles perpetuate negative womb power, and this in turn supports the conflicts of humans against the planet, humans against humans, and woman against the womb. The condition of a woman's womb also reflects the condition of all her relationships. When a woman's womb is in a healthy state, her life is a reflection of this balance. The love and care that a woman gives to her womb reflects her true level of emotional, spiritual, physical, and mental health. Unfortunately, too many women in today's world experience some form of womb degeneration that results in disease. As women heal As we heal and transform our wombs, we will change our destiny and the destiny of our planet. Women, it's time to take back control. We must defend our wombs with our lives, for the womb is the birthplace of all our creative abilities. Nankululiko Tahimba, a blessed nurse midwife, spoke very eloquently about the power of the fully revitalized womb. As a midwife and a keeper of the shrine of Meshkinet, as one who has helped to birth countless babies of light onto this earth, I know that Sacred Woman speaks to the power of the womb. So often, we women do not realize the power we possess, what ways this power can be manifested, and what factors can alter the patterning of the womb for better or for worse. A female is born with all, listen, this is peace right here. A female is born with all the sacred ova she will ever use in her lifetime. Each ovum is a sacred entity unto itself. Hence, it's important not only to use these words of wisdom for our woman selves, but also to use this text to assist our daughters as they move into womanhood. For example, and it's also important that we teach our sons. I keep trying to tell you, I'm trying to figure out myself what good it would do us to have a world full of sacred women where we haven't taught our men to be sacred as well. Okay? So that's peace. For example, we must initiate our daughters and our own girl selves into the many practices that enhance the strength of the womb. In turn, wombs that are strong and powerful will become a sanctuary for the fertilized ovum. In this way, we break the chains of generational womb problems like menstrual cramps, fibroids, infertility, and so on. In Sacred Woman, we learn techniques from herbology to hydrotherapy to protect our wombs from inner and outer oppressions. We learn how we perpetuate harmful self-behaviors, and then we turn gratefully to the Queen, a full method of transformation. We learn how to spiritualize ourselves for the upliftment of the sacred womb. For when we learn to affirm ourselves, we automatically empower our womb. All right, give me 1 second. Okay, here we go, here we go. All right. How to use this book. You feel like reading that? It's a lot.
I'll read it.
Did we bring that fruit in here or is it in the kitchen?
It's in the kitchen on the countertop.
You want some?
Sure. Okay. You want a glass of bottle of water?
You need anything else?
We even know how to eat it with. I know about water with it, know?
I'm sure it is.
Second Woman. How to use this book. Second Woman is a spiritual and cultural journey. In order to begin this adventure of discovery and transformation, we must turn our compass south to the sources of the Nile River and the womb of Mother Africa. Just as the Nile flows from south to north, which goes against our preconceived notions of how rivers flow, so too do the origins of the culture that we think of today as Egypt. Few understand or fully appreciate that the origins of ancient Egypt also flowed from south, beginning in the black African source of Kemetic Nubia, giving rise to the celebrated culture of the north. Today,
do I read that loud too?
Hmm?
Do I read that loud or is that just how your voice carries?
Maybe that's just my voice.
Yeah, because you just got up to a reasonable tone just then.
Okay. Today, contemporary seekers of various traditions are invoking the spiritual wisdom of their ancestors in order to revitalize such traditions in modern life. Whether it's Native Americans reconnecting with the Great Spirit, or the Chinese drinking freely from the well of Torch tradition, or Jews debating their Talmudic roots, we have discovered that we cannot become whole unless we understand the wisdom of those upon whose shoulders we stand. African Americans' exploration of their ancestral wisdom teachings have been painfully restricted by the absence of written records. But thanks to the unconquerable and profound legacy of our rich oral tradition and the extraordinary efforts of African and African American historians and scholars such as Dr. John Henrik Clarke, Dr. Yosef Ben Yochanan, Dr. Shaba Ali, and Jacob Carruthers, and spiritual leaders who apply ancient Mayakshan principles to live by today, such as my husband, Haru Sanur Samad. We have at least been able to document the true origins of Nubian African culture and its defining and indisputable influence on Kemetic Egyptian culture. Armed with this knowledge, we have been able to tap into the roots of his legacy and bring its fruits to vibrant life. Sacred Woman has given me the opportunity to share the spiritual traditions of ancient Kemet, the mother of northern Egyptian culture, revered in books and museums worldwide. To enter fully into Kemet in the African Nubian tradition, one must set aside many of the preconceptions taught about classical Egypt, its origins, history, and spiritual traditions. This may be difficult for those who question the legitimacy of the African Nubian heritage. I can only suggest that the passport to the realm of the Sacred Woman is an open mind and a heart willing to honor and respect the wisdoms firsthand.
Okay.
Part 1. The ancient ways will induce.
I'll read while you eat.
I'm bad.
I mean, I got you back. It's the same back. I'm thankful that we're not doing the gateway yet. It's a lazy day. As soon as we get in the gateways, it's time. Hopefully when we get in the gateways, you'll be doing the same thing. We'll probably come together at 5:04 every day. But we'll still be rising at 4 to do the work, so. Alright, here we go. Alright.
Part 1.
Part 1. The ancient ways will introduce you. Hold on, let me make sure what we're saying. Okay, I heard you say, Fru Ankra Samaj, Sinur Samaj. Okay. Right. Baba. Alright, here we go. Part 1. The ancient ways will introduce you to the spiritual and ethical legacy left to us by our ancient Nubian Kemetic ancestors, who have gifted us with our understanding of sacred unity. Listen, the ancient ways will introduce you. Remember how we say Sankofa? To go back and get it, to go back and fetch. I like to add, it doesn't say go back and ask for it. Okay. Go back and wonder about it. Say go back and get your shit. Okay. That's Sankofa. This is a tool, an ancient tool. It will introduce you to the spiritual and ethical legacy left to us by our ancient Nubian Kemetic ancestors, who have gifted us with our understanding of sacred unity. A lot of people have asked me in their enlightenment, who do we pray to? Or, once they come into their enlightenment that Jesus may not have been the most thorough God for them to have been given. They want to know who should they pray to instead, or what do I do at my Sundays now? What do I do at Christmas now? What do I do at Easter now? You do this. You do this. It puts you in a position of, it really does take you from niggas to gods. It really does. The book transitions you from a nigga to a god. You go from being in a position of praying and being prayed on to a position of being prayed to. You go from asking, why me, to healing yourself and others. You go from crying in pain to crying with purpose, So, look, Sankofa, this is a tool to help you go back and get your ancient ways. It's to fill in those gaps and those voids. There's a way for you to be reminded of what you should do now, okay? Everybody's signals won't be the same. I can share my signal with you. I can share my message with you, but yours won't be the exact same. My spirit told me, don't eat no meat. Your spirit lets you eat bacon. And thank Jesus for it. Everybody got choices. Maybe for your Lord or your angels, clogged arteries and hypertension is best. But the signal for me was that healers' lives should reflect healing. It should look and feel like healers. And that's peace. That's peace. I'm trying to say, ain't it be fucked up? And so you sitting at the goddamn family reunion, you know that plate fucked up. You know it fucked up because you got 2 plates at the same time. One for your sides and one for your meat. I say 2 plates because I don't want to mention that first plate your dog ass packed up and put in the car before anybody else ate. And you want to goddamn bow your head and thank Jesus for that shit. It's peace too. Because I know it's the same Jesus that when you get to cancer, you be asking, why, Lord, why? It's like, is that Lord the same Lord that you asked to bless that shit? Well, I guess that nigga didn't bless that shit thoroughly.
No, he didn't.
But everybody got choices.
He sneezed on it.
Okay. These teachings have shown us that ancient Kemet was never a polytheistic or animistic culture. This tradition viewed Entur as the undifferentiated... Hold on. This tradition, you need to notice it doesn't say religion. This tradition viewed Entur as the undifferentiated one, all divine, from whom all life emanates. It gave the mother-father aspects of the Creator equal respect. That's important too, because I remember my first questions as a child about God were, how does that work? Where's the rest of the family? Who is God's daddy? I wondered why it was a man and not a woman. Why it had to be our Father in heaven and not our mother in heaven, or not both. I wondered correctly as a child, closest to the source. Our children know. Damn. That's a whole nother video. You stop fucking telling your... Stop telling God what it is and listen. Just have a day where you just shut the fuck up and listen to your children. Matter of fact, tell them that it's opposite day. They'll love it. It's opposite day. That means today, you're the parent. Today, you teach me. Today, you cook for me. Today, you serve me. We'll call it opposite day. Just for fun, we'll also flip the tables and have dinner foods for breakfast and breakfast foods for dinner. But opposite day. Learn from your lords. Stop telling them what the fuck it is. I'm trying to tell you, the very first time you hear a child genuinely say, it take one to know one, you understand they got that reflective shit down pat. They like really understand that. The first time one of the little white kids said, I know you are, but what am I? Yeah. The children know. Listen to them. And they'll probably tell you about a mother-father aspect of the Creator. Dory told me that she was in a dark space. She said, no, she didn't say she was in a dark space. She said it was dark. It was dark. I called you and my daddy at the same time because it was just too dark there. Look. She said she called her mother and her father forward at the same time because it was too dark. I'm going to say let there be light instead of everybody got choices. All right, here we go. The ancient ways will also introduce you to the spiritual guidance embodied in the Enteru, such as Ast, the great mother African spirit, culture bringer, and healer, Mayat, who represents truth, balance, harmony, law, and cosmic order. Hedru, the aspect of divine love, beauty, and nurturing. Ru, the sacred warrior of light, the aspect of will. Bes, the aspect of expansion. Enteru, of dance. Sekhmet, the lion-headed patroness of healers. And finally, the sacred lotus Neferatun, the aspect of the highest ascension and unlimited potential. Thus, the Enteru who have been mislabeled, the gods and goddesses, are actually manifestations of the wondrous divine attributes of in turn, the Mother Father Source. This is especially significant to Western women who are more accustomed to receiving their empowerment through worship of a male godhead and the intercession of a male priesthood. The spiritual teachings of ancient Kemet are made relevant today through sacred woman training. By necessity, it provides only a brief introduction into ancient Kemet, for indeed the serious study of this civilization could take a lifetime. Queen of Four offers this to us in hopes that we'll be so fascinated by the truth of its teachings that we will be inspired to explore much more deeply into our rich cultural treasures. All right. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
You look so sleepy. You sleepy?
No, I ain't sleepy. I just woke up.
So you know I'm not sleepy. I'm still sleeping.
Yeah, yesterday was a big day. A big day.
It was. Today when we wrap up, we can just lay in bed until.
Yeah, cause we done spent in the last week. We done spent over 30 hours on the highway.
30 hours?
It seemed like in the last week.
Well, we definitely spend at least 3 hours on the highway a day. And in 7 days, that's 21 hours. And
we're making double trips a day.
I mean, I say about 3 hours a day.
Okay.
Roughly at least 3 hours a day. On a good day, 3 hours. All right, let's keep going. Let me skip this ad.
Are we putting in work?
Okay, here we go. I hope y'all got a notepad. I got notepads. I got papers, notepads, pens. I hope you taking notes so this time we can really go through and do the work. Look. Anybody here who don't have a book that need a book? I love you. Anybody here that don't have a book that need a book? Don't go to sleep on me either. All right. We all got a book. Sacred Woman, Queen of Four. All right. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. Page 6 is where we're picking up at. First degree Sacred Woman Training. I'm glad you tuned in too. I am glad you tuned in too. We're going to get free by any means necessary. We're going to use every tool they got for us. Every tool they got, we're going to use that bitch till they shut it down. All right? I used Facebook. It was a good ride. It was a damn good run. When they started to bully and manipulate the page, it was time to keep it pushing. And here we are. That's peace. That's peace. Breakfast is rising.
Hooked up with them freeze and try to shut you down.
All right, here we go. Raw okra and grapes. Gateway 0. The Sacred Womb. The purpose of first degree Sacred Woman Training. Listen. Let me tell you what degree is. Oh, shit, it should be easy. Because degrees mean levels, right? Kind of?
Right.
All right. So just like a college degree. Or I like to think about it like karate. Because I never took karate and shit. But I know they got black belts and they got brown belts and green belts and shit. And there's levels to the shit. It's the same way with Sacred Woman. Every time you go through, your belt changes, you know. Your defense game is higher up. So, great rising, Bernicia. Great rising. Great rising. Great rising. All right. Okay, so first degree Sacred Woman Training. If this is your first time with the book, I also encourage you to read through the book completely. Yeah, read or skim through. I would say read. I know that's a lot to ask, but I would say read through it. The way you would a romance novel, read through it cover to cover, and with intent to finish it soon. Not one of the books that you keep on the back of the toilet and you finish it while you're shitting for 2 days at a time. Because this book will help you to shit good. It's going to help you to shit better. It's going to help you to have 30-second shits. I love you. All right, here we go. Let's keep pushing. The purpose of first degree sacred woman training is to awaken us to the power of the womb as our physical and psycho-spiritual center. As we enter Gateway 0, we learn how to identify, cleanse, purify, heal, and honor one of the primary gateways of our spiritual power. Through sacred altar work and daily spiritual observances, and through journaling and dialoguing with the spirit of the womb. Listen, all of these things are required. Altar work and daily spiritual observances, journaling and dialoguing with the spirit of the womb. We learn how to deprogram ourselves from harmful thoughts, attitudes, habits, and relationships. Through Gateway 0, we learn the art of caring for our wombs by offering them the gift of wellness philosophy. This includes the natural living approach to food, womb rejuvenation techniques, womb affirmations, womb meditations, and learning to use the sacred woman's womb scroll. Most important, we learn how to honor ourselves through an African spiritual and cultural tradition whose sole aim is to bring us into full flower. You may experience your womb work by entering Gateway 0 individually or as a member of a sacred womb circle of 4 to 8 women who gather their forces together for a minimum of 21 days or a maximum of 4 months to purify and heal the womb on a physical, mental, and spiritual level. This process, all right, let me make sure you got the plug. It says 4 to 8 women, ideally a circle of 4 to 8, okay? 4 to 8. For a minimum of 21 days or a maximum of 4 months. This process can be extremely rewarding and supportive, so call your girlfriends, co-workers, relatives, or women's group to pack their spirit bags and join you as you inaugurate this powerful ascent into your sacredness. Together, you will physically purify, pray, meditate, do journal work, make music, and love and support one another as you transform your wombs from a state of disease and disharmony to one of wellness and perfection. First degree sacred woman training lays the foundation of womb wellness that is integral to your experience of the 9 gateways of initiation. Once you've completed Gateway 0, your womb health will be better than ever before, and you will be ready to begin the second stage of your sacred woman training. All right. Second degree sacred woman training, exploring the 9 gateways individually. Each gateway represents a spiritual rite of passage that will liberate you from your old life and usher you into a new way of being. This work requires a commitment to transform your consciousness from ignorance, denial, or grandiosity to harmonious alignment with your true divine nature as a sacred woman. We do not travel the gateways alone. At each gateway, we are accompanied by the inspiration, grace, protection, and guidance of the spiritual guardians, ancestors, elders, and contemporaries associated with the teachings of each particular gateway. Even if you feel like you're alone, you are not. You do not. It is impossible to travel the gateways alone. And if we are blessed, the collective energy and transformative power of the sisters also accompany us in our sacred womb circle. All right. All right, so it's a lot of gems in here. Like I said, hopefully you're taking notes. Hopefully you're taking notes because there's a lot we've covered already. I was just telling him, because he's got the book for his sisters, his daughters. I'm telling them, because as a man, you know, he like, it's a really clumsy handoff. It's in love though, you know. All he knows is I'm different than the women that he's seen. And it's a healthy difference. And he wants it for everybody, you know. Yeah. Anyway, when I tell him, I give credit to the book for it. Like, and I say, yeah, I ain't gonna thank my mama. She did her part. My daddy did too. But Queen of Fu will clean that thing on up, okay? And so I give credit and reverence to Sacred Woman. So he take that information and be like, hey, if I give you this book, you'll read it, you'll do what's in it. If I just tell him, if I give you this book, will you just at least do what's in it? He ain't even read it from cover to cover. Talking about do what's in it. All right, this is the thing about doing what's in it, which I was explaining to him. More importantly than telling them to do what's in it, is telling them to do it with somebody. Do it with somebody. That's important. More important than you, if you don't have to do shit in the book, I'm going to be honest with you. You don't have to do shit. Listen. I know this from experience. You don't have to do shit in the book. If you read the book, if you don't do shit but read the book with somebody, you will be edified. My best friend wasn't playing the radio with me. That baby will log on to Facebook, play my video, and go to hell to sleep. Put 2 laughing smile emojis and then knock the fuck out. Listening to us read in her sleep. Her dreams, her convictions, her body started to change. She say, after about a week of listening to us talk about self-love and self-care and being natural and how everything is designed to kill you or hurt you, her face started breaking out. My friend ain't wore a lace front since I started the Sacred Woman. She ain't read shit, still don't have a book, don't know one gateway from her asshole. But when she was in listening range of me reading, not only did her dreams enhance, but also her self-convictions. That's peace. Her body started to reflect what was going on in her mind and spirit, giving her a more clear and better opportunity to resolve it. Because you know it's easier for us to fix the shit we can see fucked up on the outside than it is for us to fix the stuff on the inside. So more important than you getting the book and doing what's in the book is you getting the book and you're going through the book with someone else. There's so many things that you'll miss in between the lines unless you have more eyes than just yours. Okay? So that's peace. All right. Here we go. Where we at? 2nd degree training. Yes, because you don't travel the gateways alone. You don't travel the gateways alone. That's peace. Damn, I don't feel like that's enough. We do not travel the gateways alone. At each gateway, we are accompanied by the inspiration, grace, protection, and guidance of the spiritual guardians, ancestors, and elders, contemporaries associated with the teachings of each particular gateway. And if we are blessed, the collective energy... Oh, you want me closer to you? I always want to be closer to you. All right. And you got me ready to get off here and just cuddle. I love you. All right, here we go. You can put yours down so it's time for you to read. I got you. All right. Yeah, like I said, take notes because this part is important. The first thing that if you were just reading it through, not paying attention or not taking notes, the first thing you would have missed is that she said your sacred circle should consist of 4 to 8 women. 4 to 8 women. I was also talking to King about this yesterday. It absolutely is rocket science. If she says 4 to 8, and she has studied, she has done the work, she has sat down at the altar every power hours for 23 years and healed people for 20 plus years to get us here. If the woman say 4 to 8, who the fuck are you to say, maybe I could try 2 women? Try to get 4 to 8. You gotta know it's power in the 8. Why else would they want you? 8, 8, and 8. Work for 8 hours, sleep for 8 hours, play. Look, there's power in the 8. Your ancients knew that. And so I'm not saying you shut down and you don't do shit because you can't find 7 other sisters to roll with. What I'm saying is let your intent be to heal and build with a circle of 7 sisters in addition to yourself, and then seek those women. So that you're not a crazy delusional woman out at the grocery stores asking bitches at checkout to hang out with you. What's going to happen is you're going to probably reach out to your mother, grandmother, your daughters, your nieces, like I said, sisters, neighbors, and these are the people who you want in your circle. The ones most immediate, because those are the relationships, like I said, that influence your life. All right, here we go. Let's keep going. So I'm gonna say we're gonna go till 6:30 and then wrap up. Wherever we are, okay?
What's going
on? You talking about?
About 30 minutes, about 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, I love you.
I love you.
All right. Okay. Here we go. That's exciting. Okay, here we go. Each gateway will introduce you to a specific spiritual legacy that will serve as the next step in the cultivation of your sacred woman consciousness. The gateways and their guardians are... All right, here we go. The gateways and their guardians are Gateway 1, Sacred Word, Tahuti. Gateway 2, Sacred Food, Ta'ert. Gateway 3, Sacred Movement, Bes. Gateway 4, Sacred Space, Nebetet. Gateway 5, Sacred Beauty, Hetru. Gateway 6, Sacred Healing, Sekhmet. Gateway 7, Sacred Relationship, Mayat. Gateway 8, Sacred Union, Ast. And Gateway 9, Neferatum, Sacred Lotus, Initiation, Meshkanet and Neferatum, Ast, and Neferatum. Exploring each gateway. Here we go. Here you go, another gem for your notepad. Exploring each gateway requires a 7-day commitment and conscious immersion in this profound curriculum. Now, if you're just reading through the book and you just by yourself gonna read it, you're not gonna catch that. You're gonna miss that. Exploring each gateway requires a 7-day commitment and a conscious immersion in this profound curriculum. Give me 1 second. Let me show you something. You can still play. All right, hold on. Watch this. All right. Hold on, y'all. I know my internet's be acting crazy. Google. All right, here we go. All right, so like I said, I had a sister tell me one time when we first started reading this. I'm sure she blocked me a long time ago, but she was like, she replied on one of the comments and was like, she got the book, but she finished reading it already. Look, you see that snot? I know you're like, what? Did this nigga just... I did. You see that? When I started Sacred Woman, it was always green. Always. Always green. Always congested. Always constipated. Always green. Eye boogers green. Those are all signs of sickness. All signs of sickness. When you blow your nose and you see green, when you in the middle of the day and you see green, know that that is sickness. That very mucus that's there is much more of it, and that is how and that's how people are sick and dying, because they don't recognize, they're not paying attention to their bodies, specifically our wombs. All right. So an immersion is the act of immersing someone or something in a liquid. Deep mental involvement. Okay? Here we go. A baptism. A baptism or a deep mental involvement. So when it says exploring each gateway, wait, I really love the way this song sounds. All right. One last time, I'm going to read that to you. Each gateway requires a 7-day commitment and a conscious immersion in this profound curriculum. So, there you have it. I know for sure it's not one gateway that I go through in less than 7 days. You know, each gateway took weeks if you are really immersed in it, which means at the beginning of each gateway, family, it tells you a particular affirmation. It tells you a particular number of fire breaths, or there's very clear and concise instruction on how to get you on how to help you build a relationship between yourself and your womb, or yourself and your core. For my brothers, between yourself and your core. Her womb is your womb. It is the womb that you're responsible for. It is the womb you rely on for information, support, love, warmth, all of these things. Okay, here we go. Keep your notepad, because now it should be on your note. Matter of fact, pop quiz. We haven't done this in a long time. Pop quiz. I'll send 2 crystals to the person who can answer this question correctly. How many women who can answer it correctly and first? How many women should be in your sacred circle? All right, pop quiz. I'm gonna only gonna open it up for fuck that. We out here for 2 minutes. For 2 minutes. That's it. For 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes. 2 crystals. Boom.
Bernicia Dumas.
4 to 8. Bernicia got it.
Bernicia.
All right, here we go. One more question. One more question just to see if we can get it. One more pop quiz. I said I want to make sure you're paying attention. How many days should you explore each gateway? Minimally, how many days should you explore each gateway? All right. 2 stones, an answer in 2 minutes. How many days minimally should you explore each gateway? Boom. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's peace and power. The email is
Grace.
Right. All right. And so the email is datspeace@gmail. DATSPEACE@gmail.com. So Bernicia and Nia, you guys are the winners for today. Bernicia, I was gonna say I probably have your address, but they locked me out of that old page, so I probably don't. Email your address and put pop quiz in the subject line. If you don't put pop quiz, I can't send you a prize. Not because I'm trying to be shady, because these emails are pouring in and it's too many for me to sort through. So I need you to put pop quiz in the subject line.
And put your entire physical address. Please, not your email address. Not your Facebook name, not your YouTube account name. We need your address. We need your physical house number, city, state, and zip code.
It's obvious I had him fill out the I had him go through to fill out the envelopes for the subscription. Remember, if you subscribe, then you have a ticket in the mail. If you're one of the first 100 people, if you're one of the first 100 people to subscribe to our channel and follow the rest of the terms and conditions, which also required you to, you had to subscribe to the station and then email us your mailing address so that we could send you a ticket. Some of y'all sent email addresses. Some of y'all sent your address in heaven. I don't fucking know. Some of you emailed 3 times and was like, fuck, 3rd time's the charm, right? But I understand your excitement. But those tickets are in the mail. And we closed it all. All the tickets, all the people who qualified Those tickets have been sent, and there's only one golden 9 ticket. So I'm excited to see who'll get it. I'm excited about that. Okay. All right. So let's see. That's good there. That's good. All right, we got 10 more minutes. So we'll probably do that pop quiz joint as often as we can. Not gonna be too often because I don't want to get to a point where I have you paying for shipping on your prizes. But yeah, we'll do those because, like I said, I know that it's difficult to find 4 to 8 women. I know that. So we have each other here. And it's not the same as having a sister sitting in your living room or on your bed when you need to cry. But we still have each other. We have each other, and I've known that I've had you for quite some time now. Like, I know it sounds really crazy. It's peace, because they got a habit of doing that, calling black woman crazy when she find her fucking mind. But even when I was a little girl, I would look up at the moon and I would think about you. And I would think, how fucking amazing is it that even when they separated us from one another, we could still look up at the same moon. We still share the same sky. And so, just as it gave me peace then, it does now. I just don't want any of my sisters to feel like you're alone in your journey. Because you're not. Like, that's it. Lauryn Hill said it best. I know the enemy doing the same thing to you that the enemy doing to me. That's it. That's it. How transparent we are is up to us individually. But I know for sure that we all go through the same hells. We all going through the same emotions. We all experiencing the same cycles of high and low. And so we need each other. All right. We're going to pick up tomorrow. It's on, oh, you know what? I'm already in 2nd degree training, or did I stop at?
Stop at, well, you got 7-day commitment.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to at least finish then the 2nd degree women training, then we'll pick up with 3rd degree tomorrow. All right, in 2nd degree woman training, you have the option of exploring any of the 9 gateways as a separate course of study. The most important requirement is that the chosen gateway serve as an answer to your prayer. Isn't that dope?
So while I'm doing the second one, I can dibble and dab in any of these while I'm doing 2?
Well, for me, Sacred Woman is like a Bible. And so you should not restrict yourself. You know, let spirit lead you to be where you need to be. Like, Ta'ert. I felt like sacred food was my gateway. Because my eating is what changed my life. My eating is what helped me to lose 100 pounds, and then helped me to lose 1,000 pounds, and then helped me to not have migraines or hypertension or diabetes. It's what my eating, Ta'ert, sacred food, is what got my period from 12 and 14 days to 2 hours. Ta'ert is why my thighs don't rub and chafe anymore. Ta'ert is why I don't have painful boils or pimples or hair bumps. Since black people call everything a hair bump, I don't have hair bumps now. Under my arms or between my breasts or in my ass crack, or like I thought Ta'ert was my gateway. And in my 2nd degree training is when I met you. In 2nd degree training. And that's also when I learned sacred relationship to be my gateway. Yeah, I thought sacred food was my gateway because of what everybody else came to me for. You know, they wanted me to tell them about health, and they wanted me to tell them about food, and they wanted me to tell them about wellness. But Mother had said to me long ago that I had damaged many men with sex, and she would have me to repair double the number without it. It was clear to me that my partner would have hurt many women with sex, and he would double the healing without it. That's you?
That's me.
You fit the bill.
I fit the bill.
I love you.
I love you.
All right, so here we go. Second degree Sacred Woman training. You have the option of exploring any of the 9 gateways as a separate course of study. The most important requirement is that the chosen gateway serve as an answer to your prayer. So if you are in a, like I said, the first thing you do is go through the book. All right? If you're in a relationship right now, if your marriage is on the rocks, if you don't know if your marriage is where you should be, you're struggling with it. If it's your relationship and not your marriage, get free. And get free. If you've been together this long and Spirit has allowed obstacles to keep you from marrying, and at this juncture in a relationship you're still wondering about that, I hope that that is not what you'll do. I hope that you'll buy him Queen of Fools' book, Man Heal Thyself. Encourage him also to read Sacred Woman and get you the fuck free. But if you are married, if you are in a relationship with someone who is committed to choosing us, if you can look at him and he can look at you and you can say to one another, I choose us, then Sacred Union. Gateway 8. If you're struggling with food and or dieting and or fibroids, Gateway 2, Sacred Foods, will be a good place to start. If you're dealing with insecurities, pain, a lack of forgiveness, anger, bitterness, a good place to start is Sacred Beauty. When I started the Sacred Beauty Gateway with my children, they asked if they could have lappas and head wraps and septum rings, and of course I obliged. But as we went through the gateway, they quickly learned that Sacred Beauty was definitely speaking to the beauty on the inside. And once you start to adorn your spirit with head wraps and septum rings, your light will come from the inside out. So definitely, pick the gateway that answers your prayer. All right. From niggas to gods, I told you, Sacred Woman is going to teach you to stop asking people to do for you what you can do for yourself. That's conflict resolution right there. I've explained this to you time and time again. Anytime, and I haven't found an exception, anytime there's conflict with someone, it's because they're not doing what we want them to do, or they're not giving us what we want them to give us. All right? The only way to resolve that or avoid it altogether is to be self-sufficient, to be self-sustaining. Well, I'm not asking you to give me shit. I don't have to pressure you or fight you or beg you for anything. Not love, not money, not forgiveness, not anything. If I can give it to myself, then I'm made whole and there is no conflict. All right, so let me see what we got. 27. Okay, for example, Sarah found herself in a state of constant agitation. She could only utter the harshest criticism and complaints to her family, co-workers, and friends. When her 4-year-old daughter said, "Mommy, you say too many bad words," Sarah burst into tears, for she knew that her words had indeed become lethal weapons. In the safety of her sacred circle, she knew there was an answer to her dilemma, and she was able to seek refuge in Gateway 1, Sacred Word, where she found herself in the sheltering arms of Tehuti. As Sarah began her journey through Gateway 1 and dedicated herself to its daily spiritual observances, guided meditations, and journaling and transformative work day by day, her life began to change before her eyes. In the second degree training, the most important steps: read the entire text of the Gateway before you begin your work. The most important steps are to read the entire text of the Gateway before you begin your work. That's peace. I'm going to tell you, like my teacher tell me, if you hear me repeating something over and over and over again, I'm not saying you have to write it down. I'm just saying it could potentially come up again. Number 1, read the entire text of the gateway before you begin your work. The most important steps are to read the entire text of the gateway before you begin. 2, commit to a 7-day period in which you have a lighter or more flexible schedule and can prioritize your spiritual work. We don't got much time. Busyness is also a form of self-negligence. And anytime you neglect something, you're not loving on it, right? Anytime you disregarding something, if you're not loving on it, it's hate, right? Busyness is self-negligence. If you too busy to heal yourself, you too busy to prioritize, you too busy to read, you're too busy to do altar work, then you are going to die. You are going to be busy until you're dead. Hey, that's it. If you don't take the time, no one else will make the time. You have to. You have to prioritize. You absolutely must prioritize. Like I tell people, if you had time to piss or shit, then you had time to meditate. You have time to prioritize. And if you don't, then at least accept now, as fucked up as it sounds, that you are making time to die. If you are not making time to live, then you are making time to die. And everybody has choices. Commit to a 7-day period in which you have, it doesn't matter if you have a lighter or more flexible, it doesn't matter. You make it work. You make it work. I had many jobs before I had a child, right? And every job I had either a 30-minute lunch break or I had an hour lunch break. On a good job, I had an hour lunch break and I had 2 15-minute breaks, right? Used to love them joints because you could get them on the clock. There was no time to talk on the phone. There was no time to shit. There was no time to text. There was no time to run and go get no snack if I got hungry. There wasn't no time to do that because they was monitoring my aux. I had to be right there with the fuck. It wasn't no time. I didn't have no time to do none of that shit. That's not what this is. That's not what this is. You have to have. Once I had a baby, I got my hour break. I got my 2 15-minute breaks. If I was sick and throwing up or nauseous, I got another break. If my breasts had filled up to a point that they was painful and I needed to pump, I could get another break. If somebody brought my baby up there because she was premature and needing me, everybody would be like, oh, I got another break. Somehow, when my baby became my priority and not the customers on their fucking phone, I made time. Now I got time to go to the bathroom. I got time to pump. I got time to step outside the son of a bitch and call my baby. Oh, I got time now. Make the time. Your healing is your baby. Your womb is your baby. And yes, sis, if you done had a hysterectomy, they can't cut sacred out. The space that it used to lay is your baby. That space still holds all your emotions, all of your stories, all of your pains, all of your truth. Listen, read the entire text of the gateway before you begin your work. Commit to healing minimally 7 days. Make your schedule flexible. Prioritize your spirit work. And 3, finally, make the hours of 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. sacred. No matter how challenging your daily schedule, remember, if you put your commitment to spirit first, all the energy you need will be gifted to you. And I told you that before too. There was at one point I wanted to stop smoking cigarettes. I wanted to stop eating meat. I wanted to stop eating sugar. I had all these things that I wanted to stop doing. And then last on the list, I want to start meditating. And it got to a point where, look, I couldn't stop eating fat snacks. I couldn't stop smoking cigarettes. I couldn't stop having casual sex. None of that can happen. But I guess the meditate shit might as well be easy since my body is now naturally waking me up at 4:20 every day for some fucking reason. So I guess I might as well meditate then. And then I meditated, right? Every day. Didn't get up. Didn't numb your whole gankyo. Didn't do shit. Just looked at the sky like, okay, this is me meditating. All right, I don't know what message there is for me. I did that. And then the signal became crystal clear. Meat fell away, cigarettes fell away, casual sex fell away, fat fell away, insecurity fell away, timidness fell away. Shit, I got free. All right, so make the time. I'm going to give you these 3 again because tomorrow I'm probably going to open with a pop quiz and I'm going to ask you these 3. If I remember, that's how that's going to happen. If I don't, you will have remembered these 3 for your own benefit. Number 1, read the entire text of the gateway before you begin your work. Number 2, commit to minimally a 7-day period in which you make your schedule more flexible so you can prioritize your spirit work. And number 3, make the hours of 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. sacred, no matter how challenging your daily schedule. Remember, if you put your commitment to spirit first, all the energy you need will be gifted to you. When I did the meditation first, when I committed to nothing but the meditation, all the other things on the list were given to me just as gifts. It's like kisses on the neck, easy, you know. All right, so we'll pick up tomorrow at 3rd degree Sacred Woman Training, but we'll start to talk about the 9 gateways. That's peace. And into the ancient ways. Chapter 1 starts tomorrow too. Hold on right quick, let me see something. And so much I was gonna wrap that up, but the way I ramble, I'm not. I'm not. Hey, hold on now. But watch it, buddy. All right, I love y'all. We'll be back. All right, tomorrow, 5:04 a.m. All right, I love y'all. Sacred Woman, Queen of 4. My book is a little toe down. Queen of 4, Helen O. Robinson. Okay? All right, let's give you this affirmation and then we out of here. I am a distinctive, beautiful flower and a healing herb with a heart, a mind, breasts, buttocks, and a womb. I come with sacred earth medicine to heal myself. Why are you always looking so fucking lecherous? Alright. What do lecherous mean? What does lecherous mean, babe? And the best you can do, what's lecherous? Well, what comes to mind?
No good, devious. Lecherous sound like you lurking.
Lecherous, yes. Giggity. I told you it's quagmire. It's,
I get it.
You girls over 18?
How quiet I do it?
Yeah, that's lecherous. Some old perverse shit or some shit. Okay, I love y'all. We'll be back. Peace, family. Peace and power. You need help, babe.
I got you.